Okay, so it's New Year's Eve, December 2015, and can we have like a moment to talk about the past? Okay, so yeah, let's just take a few moments to talk about the past. My hydrangeas killed themselves. They drank up all the water. So I was going to add these roses to this, what I already had. I don't know. I may cut them down and make them short. But what I wanted to talk about the past with was, past relationships. This is one of the first New Year's Eve that I can say that I am single, alone. I live by myself. It's kind of weird because even last year, I was not living by myself. I didn't move into this apartment until like January or something like that. So it just feels so weird. And then when you are asked questions by other people, it kind of makes you just like look at life overall. There was like a real incident at work today where somebody just asked, would you ever go back? Like, would you ever accept him back? And I just want to know, women, have you ever broken up with a man, or a man broke up with you, and the man did not want you back? Like they were like, oh, well, what? I hate people speak in generals because it's kind of like hard to speak in generals. It was along the lines of, would I take the person back? And does the person want me back? I feel like that every time you break up with somebody, especially if it's a woman breaking up with a man, or the man always wants the woman back. I don't know if they really want the woman back or if they just want to act like they want the woman back. But for some reason, the man just he comes back around. I don't want to compare the opposite sex to like an animal, but my grandmother says that men and dogs follow the same path. They always go back to their home gates. So I don't know. So it just and my answer to that is, do I want the person back or whatever? No, absolutely not. The person, it was like a time in my life that I'm not so upset about. Does it feel weird to be alone? Was a question that someone asked me. In a way, because when you get used to living with somebody, you get used to their temperament, for good or for bad or whatever, and you kind of know what to expect. And then when you start trying to go out there and see new and different people, it's like you have to get used to somebody all over again. And it makes you feel, it brings out like the unfamiliar. It really, by me trying to like go out and date other people, it really makes me realize that everybody is so different. There's so many different personalities out there and so many different ways to think about life and to view life that it's kind of hard to build something, a connection or a kinship when you with a new person, if you've ever been like in a real long relationship. And when I say like a real long relationship, when you live with a person, I don't think there's any other bond that you can have if you really live with somebody for over like 5 years or something like that, and you woke up to that person every single day. Especially around this time of year, of course you're gonna remember. You're gonna remember, oh, this holiday, this happened, yada yada yada. And it's not to say that you want the person back, but do you sometimes wish that something that you put a lot of your time and energy into would have worked out? Yes. Only a fool would sit up there and say, "Oh, I never think about it," or I mean, I don't really like think about it, like I don't think about it to the point where it's something that I want to have in my life again. But I do think about it in the way that that's a lot of time invested, and now I have to move on and build new traditions and find new ways to entertain myself. And especially since I'm not looking to like rekindle a real relationship like anytime soon, it just feels so weird to even have to explain myself, where I'm coming from and what I really want. That's like such a weird thing for me to do. And it sounds weird when you're dealing with new people, because somebody who has been with you for years can understand your growth. They can understand your visions, your weirdness, your quirks, and all that type of thing. So Yeah, it's normal to get. Is it normal to get like melancholy around the holidays and to feel sad when you're single? Even and to answer that, I would say yes. And then some people might be like, some people might lie. Some people might lie and say that, oh, you should feel whole by yourself, and it doesn't take another person to make me feel happy or whatever. And I'm not saying that it takes another person to make me feel happy, but we are all humans, and I think all human beings, especially if you ever really have invested your time in somebody, would like to have that kind of kinship again and would like to have it really work out. Nobody goes into a long-term relationship and stays with the desire that it's going to fail. That memory that you share with the other person doesn't go away in 1 year's time, or just because you moved out and you moved on and you don't want the person, because sometimes you may 100% not want the person at all, but you want what could have been. You want what you put into it, right? You want to get some of that reciprocity out of it that you will never be able to obtain from another person, because the other person would have never have been there in the situation that you were in. So yeah, I just wanted to come and talk about that. I think some people get the misidea that, oh, just because you may want to date again, that you are afraid of being alone. I'm definitely not afraid of being alone, and I'm kind of like content, but I also don't want to get stuck in my ways to the point where I can't see myself dating anybody, because everything is just like so my way, my way, my way, and I don't think about compromise with a new person, or even just recognize that I do have my own history and my own past, and I'm like so anti-baggage, right? I don't like to bring history into the present unless it's like as a learning tool. Like, of course, you're not going to touch a hot stove because you're not going to get burned. That would just be silly. But then you shouldn't just go around talking about the stove is hot all the time and then like getting all around the stove even though you don't want to be around it. Same thing about relationships. You don't want to make a mistake in a relationship and just carry that and live that and express that and then circulate around the same type of people who are living and operate in that same kind of way. So yeah, I just came and I'm looking like so basic. This is how I look when I just kind of like throw myself together with my grandma bun just to get my day together. This is like one of those real old-fashioned kitchen rambles. Alone, New Year's Eve 2015. I might work on these flowers just a little bit more. But yeah, just something to do. Bye. Thank you girls so much for watching. Enjoy your New Year's. And it is okay to be alone and not lonely, melancholy but not sad, reflective but not ruminating in the past. Bye. I hope that made sense.